Please do this before picking up your cat. You bend down to pick up your cat the same way you always do. Before they're even off the floor, their body stiffens, their ears shift back, and they push away. It feels like they simply don't enjoy being held. But they may have started saying not yet several seconds earlier. Once you recognize those quiet signals and make one small change before lifting them, many cats become noticeably calmer and more willing to cooperate. The biggest mistake usually happens before your hands even touch your cat. Lesson 1. Never surprise your cat with your hands. Your cat is peacefully sitting by the window. Birds flutter outside. Their tail rests quietly beside them. Without thinking, you walk over and slide your hands underneath them. The reaction is almost instant. Their shoulders tighten. Their ears rotate slightly backward. Their paws press against the windowsill. Sometimes they step away before you've even touched them. Many owners interpret this as stubbornness. My cat just hates being picked up. But watch the moment again. The problem may not be the lifting itself. It may be the surprise. Cats rely heavily on predicting what happens around them. They constantly observe movement, sound, and body position to decide whether a situation feels safe. When two hands suddenly appear from above or behind, your cat has almost no time to understand your intention. That uncertainty alone can create resistance. It's not rejection, it's caution. Behaviorists generally explain that cats feel more secure when interactions are predictable. A cat that knows what is about to happen often responds very differently from one that feels startled. The correction begins several seconds earlier than most owners expect. Before reaching down, let your cat notice you. Walk into their view instead of approaching from behind. Speak softly once using your normal voice. Avoid loud excitement. Then pause. Give your cat 2 or 3 seconds to process your presence. Now watch carefully. Do they turn their head toward you? Do their ears relax? Do they blink? Do they remain comfortably where they are? Those small reactions matter. If your cat immediately steps away, crouches lower, or turns their body sideways, don't chase them. That isn't the right moment. Try again later. If they stay relaxed or even walk towards you, you've already started the interaction in a completely different way. One small pause can prevent a much bigger struggle. Of course, some situations don't allow for waiting. If your cat needs emergency medical care or must be moved quickly for safety, gentle but immediate handling may be necessary. But during ordinary daily interactions, giving your cat a few seconds of warning can make a remarkable difference. If your cat suddenly begins avoiding all contact after previously enjoying it, especially if combined with limping, hiding, or reduced appetite, don't assume it's simply behavior. Pain often changes tolerance for handling long before other symptoms become obvious. Most of the time, though, your cat wasn't resisting your affection. They were reacting to being surprised. And once your cat knows you're there, another quiet question matters even more. Not whether they see you, but whether they're actually ready. Lesson 2. Ask for permission before you lift. Your cat is looking directly at you now. They've noticed your presence. Everything seems calm. Many owners assume this means they're ready to be picked up. Not necessarily. Looking at you isn't the same as agreeing. Cats often communicate readiness through several small signals working together. A relaxed body, soft eyes, neutral ears, a tail resting comfortably. Sometimes they'll even take a few steps towards you. That combination tells a much clearer story than eye contact alone. Now imagine something different. Your cat notices you. Then they turn their head away. Perhaps they begin grooming. Maybe they quietly walk to another spot. Many owners follow anyway. After all, they only want to cuddle, but your cat may have just answered the question. Not with words, with movement. That movement is information. Behaviorists generally interpret voluntary approach as a stronger sign of comfort than forced proximity. In simple terms, a cat that chooses to come closer usually feels more confident than one being pursued. The correction is wonderfully simple. Instead of immediately placing both hands around your cat, offer one relaxed hand several inches away. Keep it still. Let your cat decide. If they sniff your fingers, rub their cheek against your hand, or remain comfortably in place, continue slowly. If they walk away, let them. You haven't been rejected. You've been given an answer. Respecting that answer makes future interactions easier, not harder. Many owners notice that when they stop insisting on every cuddle, their cat begins seeking them out more often. There is a reason. Your cat learns that staying close doesn't automatically mean losing control. That lesson builds confidence. Never force the moment. If your cat clearly chooses distance, accept it without frustration. Try again later when the circumstances have changed. Of course, kittens and cats undergoing necessary medical care sometimes require handling whether they volunteer or not. In those situations, keep movement smooth, support the body properly, and make the experience as calm as possible. If your cat suddenly refuses handling they previously accepted with ease, especially if accompanied by changes in jumping, climbing, grooming, or appetite, consult your veterinarian. A physical problem may be making ordinary handling uncomfortable. Most of the time, however, your cat isn't saying, "I don't love you." They're saying, "Let me choose." And once your cat chooses to stay close, the final few inches before contact become the most important part of the entire interaction. Lesson 3. Let your cat decide the last few inches. Imagine you're sitting quietly on the floor. Your cat has already walked into the room. They're watching you. Their ears are forward. Their body looks relaxed. You want to pick them up, but this time you wait. Instead of reaching toward them, you extend one relaxed hand only halfway. Then you stop. Those last few inches belong to your cat. It sounds like a tiny change. In reality, it can completely change how your cat experiences the interaction. Many owners believe trust grows when they show affection first. Cats often experience trust differently. Trust grows when they discover they still have a choice. Behaviorists frequently describe cats as animals that value control over their own movement. They generally feel more secure when they can approach, pause, investigate, or leave whenever they choose. That doesn't mean cats dislike people, it means they like predictable interactions. Now watch carefully. If your cat closes the distance on their own, they'll often lower their head slightly. They may sniff your fingers. Perhaps they'll rub their cheek against your hand. Maybe they'll simply stand beside you without touching at all. Each response gives you information. None of them should be rushed. The correction is wonderfully simple. Offer the invitation. Don't complete it for them. If your cat chooses to come closer, gently stroke an area they usually enjoy, like the cheeks, chin, or shoulders. After 2 or 3 strokes, pause, let your cat decide what happens next. If they lean into your hand, continue. If they remain still, wait. If they step away, allow the interaction to end peacefully. Many cats begin approaching more confidently when they learn they won't immediately lose control of the situation. They no longer need to avoid your hands. They begin trusting them. There is an important exception. Very young kittens should still experience gentle, positive handling to help them become comfortable with normal care throughout life. Likewise, cats that require medication or veterinary treatment sometimes need to be picked up despite their preferences. The goal isn't to avoid handling forever. It's to separate necessary handling from unnecessary handling whenever possible. If your cat suddenly refuses all contact after previously enjoying interaction, especially alongside hiding, reduced appetite, or changes in mobility, don't assume it's only behavioral. Pain frequently changes social behavior before other symptoms become obvious. Most of the time, though, your cat isn't resisting you. They're protecting their ability to choose. And that same need for choice becomes even more obvious when you finally lift them. Because the way you hold your cat matters just as much as whether you pick them up at all. Lesson 4. How you hold your cat changes everything. You've successfully lifted your cat. At first, everything seems fine. Then you notice something. Their back legs begin searching for support. Their front paws press lightly against your chest. Their body becomes a little stiffer. Many owners think they just don't like being held. Sometimes that's true, but often the problem isn't being held. It's how they're being supported. Cats are naturally agile animals. They're built to balance, jump, climb, and control their own bodies. When their weight suddenly hangs without proper support, many feel unstable. Imagine standing on a ladder while someone unexpectedly removed one of the steps beneath your feet. Even if you trusted that person, your body would tense automatically. Cats experience something similar. Behaviorists generally recommend supporting both the front and rear portions of a cat's body whenever lifting is necessary. That support helps many cats feel more secure because their muscles don't have to work as hard to stabilize themselves. The correction begins before your cat leaves the ground. Slide one hand beneath the chest, just behind the front legs. Place your other hand beneath the hindquarters. Lift smoothly in one continuous motion rather than pulling upward from under the front legs alone. Then bring your cat gently against your body. Avoid holding them away from your chest where they feel unsupported. Notice their breathing. Notice their muscles. A relaxed cat often keeps their body relatively loose. Their paws rest naturally. Their breathing remains calm. A tense cat may stiffen, stretch their legs outward, or repeatedly look toward the floor searching for somewhere to land. Those signals matter. If you notice them, lower your cat slowly before they begin struggling. Ending the interaction early often prevents future resistance. Never wait until your cat has to fight for release. That teaches them struggling is the only thing that works. Instead, let calm behavior earn freedom. Over time, many cats become more comfortable because they learn they don't need to panic to get back down. Of course, not every cat enjoys being carried even with perfect technique. Breed tendencies, personality, age, health, and previous experiences all play a role. Respect those differences. If your cat suddenly cries, limps, flinches, or seems painful when lifted, stop immediately and consult your veterinarian. A change in lifting tolerance can sometimes indicate injury or underlying discomfort. Once your cat feels physically supported, another mistake becomes surprisingly common. It happens after owners believe everything is finally going well, and it usually lasts just a little too long. Lesson 5. Don't hold your cat longer than they asked everything is going well. Your cat allowed you to pick them up. Their body feels relaxed. They aren't struggling. Naturally, you want to enjoy the moment a little longer. So you keep holding them. 5 more seconds. 10 more. Then something changes. Their head turns toward the floor. Their back legs begin stretching downward. Their tail flicks once. A front paw presses gently against your shoulder. Many owners ignore these tiny signals because nothing dramatic has happened yet. There is no growl, no hiss, no scratching. So they assume the cat is still comfortable. But your cat may already be asking for something. Please let me down. That request is often incredibly polite. Cats usually prefer subtle communication before stronger reactions become necessary. The problem is that humans often notice only the stronger signals. Behaviorists generally describe cats as animals that communicate through escalation. They begin quietly. If the quiet message works, they rarely need anything louder. If it doesn't, they increase the intensity. The correction is wonderfully simple. Instead of deciding how long the cuddle should last, let your cat help decide. Watch for those first signs. A shift in weight, looking repeatedly toward the floor. A slight body stretch, gentle pushing with the front paws. The moment you notice them, lower your cat slowly. Don't wait for struggling. Don't wait for scratching. Don't wait for frustration. By ending the interaction while your cat is still calm, you teach something valuable. They listened. That lesson stays with your cat. Many owners are surprised to discover that cats who are consistently released before becoming uncomfortable often resist less during future pickups. They no longer expect to become trapped. Freedom arrives before panic. Of course, some cats naturally enjoy longer cuddle sessions. Others prefer only a few seconds. Neither preference is better. Both deserve respect. If your cat suddenly becomes unable to stay comfortably in your arms after previously enjoying long cuddles, especially if accompanied by stiffness, limping, or changes in jumping ability, consult your veterinarian. Pain often appears during handling before becoming obvious during everyday movement. Remember this. Your goal isn't to hold your cat as long as possible, it's to end the interaction while trust is still intact. Because one positive pickup is worth far more than one forced cuddle. And there's one final habit that quietly changes everything. It happens after your cat is already back on the floor. Lesson 6. What you do after putting your cat down matters just as much. You gently lower your cat onto the floor. Their paws touch the ground. Now what? Many owners immediately reach down again. One more pat, one more hug, one more quick cuddle before walking away. It comes from affection, but imagine how your cat experiences it. They've just regained control of their movement. Then, almost instantly, another hand reaches toward them. For some cats, that can make every release feel uncertain. Am I really finished? The science of feline behavior suggests that predictability helps many cats feel secure. When the interaction ends exactly when they expect it to, trust grows. When endings constantly change, uncertainty can grow instead. Here's the correction. Once your cat is back on the floor, pause. Don't immediately reach after them. Let them make the next decision. Some cats will shake out their fur and walk away. Others will stay beside your feet. A few may even circle back and rub against your legs. That last response surprises many owners. The cat just asked to get down, yet now they're asking to stay close. Those aren't contradictions. They're choices. Your cat wanted control over where the interaction happened, not necessarily for it to end forever. If your cat comes back after you've released them, greet them gently. Offer your hand. Allow them to initiate contact again. Those repeated experiences teach your cat something powerful. Being picked up doesn't mean losing freedom. Freedom always returns. And because freedom returns, being picked up becomes less frightening. Over weeks and months, many cats become noticeably calmer, not because they've been forced to accept handling, because they've learned they can trust your decisions. There is one important reminder. Some cats, because of temperament or previous experiences, may never truly enjoy being carried. That is perfectly normal. Your success isn't measured by how often you hold your cat. It's measured by how safe they feel around your hands. If your cat suddenly becomes fearful of handling after years of comfort, or begins vocalizing, hiding, or reacting painfully when lifted, seek veterinary advice before assuming it's only behavioral. The next time you think about picking up your cat, remember that the interaction begins long before your hands reach their body. It starts with whether they saw you coming, whether they had a chance to prepare, whether they felt they could choose. Then it continues through the way you support their body, the amount of time you hold them, and the way you let them return to the floor. Each small step tells your cat something. Either, my choices matter, or I have to resist to be heard. Think back to everything we've covered. You learn to avoid surprising your cat from behind. You learn to ask for permission by waiting for an invitation instead of assuming one. You discovered that allowing your cat to close the final few inches builds confidence. You saw why proper support makes lifting feel more secure. You learned to notice the first quiet requests to be put down before they become stronger protests. And finally, you discovered that giving your cat space after setting them down can strengthen trust even more than another cuddle. Don't try to change every habit today. Choose one or two. Pause before reaching. Support both ends of the body. Release a little earlier than you normally would. Small, consistent changes often create the biggest improvements. Most importantly, don't blame yourself if your cat has resisted being picked up in the past. Nearly every devoted cat owner has misunderstood these signals at some point. You're not starting over. You're simply learning a language your cat has been speaking all along. And remember, if your cat suddenly resists handling after previously accepting it, especially alongside changes in eating, hiding, grooming, jumping, breathing, or litter box habits, let a qualified veterinarian rule out pain or illness before assuming it's a training issue. If this helped you understand your cat a little better, what does your cat do the moment you try to pick them up? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And if you enjoy learning the quiet science behind feline behavior, consider subscribing for more guides that help you build a calmer, more trusting relationship with your cat. Tonight, don't begin with a lift. Begin with a pause. Let your cat notice you. Offer one relaxed hand. Wait for them to come the last few inches. You may discover that the easiest way to make your cat resist less is giving them the chance to choose first.